Testing, testing, testing. Hi there, guys. My name is Rohan, and today we are going to be talking about simple machines. Today we are going to be talking about, simple machines. Okay, we're going to be talking about the various, all different types of simple machines and how each one helps us. So you see, our body has to use some energy to get work. Okay, for example, there's a big boulder right in the middle of a road, and you're trying to push it. Okay, and we have to use energy to push it to do the work. But our bodies have a limit. Okay, a limit of energy, and we'd get tired, right? But what if we could make these some stuff that can help us reduce the effort? That's where simple machines come in. They basically reduce the effort and you gain more work. Let's look at each one of these simple machines, okay? What they do is they reduce the amount of effort by applying the laws of physics cleverly. Okay? So the first simple machine is a lever. Have you ever seen a crowbar before? Let's say we go back to that boulder problem. We put the crowbar underneath the boulder. This, where at the point where the crowbar is, and the boulder, that is the load. So the boulder is the load, and the point where the crowbar will rest will be the fulcrum, maybe some stone or some wood, okay? And on the other side will be the effort arm, where you could put the effort and energy into that, which can lift the boulder up more easier. This is known as a first class lever, okay? The other types of classes of lever will be explained in some other video, okay? Some examples of levers, first class anyway, include, well, not first class, but just general levers include crowbars, pliers, and scissors. Okay, those are some levers. The next type of simple machine we're going to be looking at is a is a pulley. Okay, for example, we have a well, and how do we get the water from down the well? We'd use a pulley. There would be a wheel, and on that wheel would be a piece of rope, right? And it allows us to pull weights. Okay, pull the weight, right? And some examples of pulleys include, water wells, and cranes also use the same method to lift up heavy objects. Another type of simple machine is a screw, right? What screws do is that they help to join things, as in, i.e., they can easily go into the surface, okay? Surface of a material, let's say a wooden table, we'd screw in the screw, right? And it can be locked in very tightly, and it can lock some other stuff in. For example, basically locking stuff. For example, the tops of bottles when we remove their caps, right? For example, if I take this pen out, right, you can see the same effect happening. So if I put it back in, then it'll be locked and sturdy. Okay, that's what a screw can do. Now, another type of simple machine is our inclined planes. For example, a ramp. What they do is that they help raise heavy objects, okay? They help raise it. For example, a car being loaded onto a truck by a ramp. It helps us raise heavy objects off the ground. Now, let's move on to the next simple machine, being a wedge, okay? Now, what wedges are is that they're two inclined planes, mostly made out of wood or metal. What they could do is that they can do many things, right? They can cut through stuff, wedge through some stuff, and other stuff as well that wedges can do. For example, let's say you want to wedge a piece of a boulder, you'd take the wedge, you'd hammer it down in, right? And then you could use it's this entire process as well. It can also be used for tightening as well. Okay, some examples of wedges include knives, axes, chisels, and hammers are just some examples of wedges in real life. But the most important simple machine is the wheel and axis. It's a very simple machine. There's a wheel being rotated on an axis, okay? The rotation, okay? Now, in the early form of this, they mainly be used to lift weights, for example, with our well, right? But as time went on and this simple machine revolutionized the world, okay? It changed from just being used by wells to now being used in sewing machines, cars, and even planes, okay? So simple machines are all around us, okay? And they help us do tasks even better. That's basically what simple machines are, and that's basically it. Thank you for watching this video, and hope to see you next time. Bye bye.